my name is Cole Howard. I'm the co-founder of OpenTruck, and yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Cool. Camp Campbell. I'm co-founder of OpenTruck. It's Cole's idea, but he brought me on board. So
very cool. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad to have both of you here. Happy to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Yeah, I've been hearing some kind of murmurs in the community about the OpenTruck app, and I want to get there. But we usually start with understanding a little bit about who it is that we're talking about. Mm-hmm. So, Cole, I'm just going to throw it to you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? You started to tell me earlier about you're from Mobile and all that stuff.
Yes.
That.
So I'm from Mobile. I'm 28 years old. I know I look a lot older than what I am, but I'm 28.
Hard years.
Oh yeah, hard years. Hard years. I have lived in Mobile my whole life. Right now I'm kind of back and forth between Birmingham and Mobile, but Mobile will always be my home, and so this is kind of where we're wanting to launch, this new business venture. But we couldn't think of a better place to do it because we're surrounded by so many friends and family here, as well as food trucks everywhere. Yeah. So
where'd you go to school?
So I went to Mary G. Montgomery High School, and then I went to the University of West Alabama for a bit. So I studied integrated marketing communications there. So
nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Mm-hmm. And how about you, Cam?
Yep. I'm from Saraland, born and raised. Spent a little time other places, but I've been here in Mobile, Saraland area the majority of my life. I went to school at Saraland High School. It was actually the first class out of Saraland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Not as long as some of us, just saying. But go ahead. Saraland wasn't a city when I was graduating from high school.
And then fast forward some years, I have a background. My main background's in construction and industrial sector.
Very cool.
But fast forward some years, I did.
No, we don't fast forward.
Well,
what happened in those years? Because that's where all the interesting stuff is.
Well, that's all the boring stuff. I worked in plants a lot,
okay.
Did commercial or industrial construction.
So just so you know, because I don't know how much time people spend listening to the podcast, mm-hmm. like this isn't just about the business.
Right.
This is an understanding of like where somebody mm-hmm. has come from and mm-hmm. the journey that has taken them mm-hmm. to this point. Because I'm trying to prove the point that there is no magic path.
Right. Yeah. Right.
You worked in industrial, mm-hmm. whatever, and you're barely out of college. Look at you, baby face.
It's just because I got a haircut. That's the only reason.
No, I'm just playing, man. So, I mean, I guess that's why I stopped. And just it's pertinent, to what we're discussing. So, sorry, I didn't.
No, you're good. Well, yeah, I've worked industrial, mainly contract work, construction.
Yeah.
Did and then I spent some time in Ohio, about a year in Ohio doing construction work. This was mid-COVID.
Yeah.
And then I came home, took a job as a construction superintendent for a pool builder here in Mobile. And then money wasn't there really, so I started doing some side work and I started doing exterior cleaning, and that's what I currently do now in addition to what we're doing.
Yeah.
But and then that's where I got the love for business and starting a business, growing a business, running a business, all the aspects. That's not a big business, so you have to do everything yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I kind of fell in love with it, and that was almost 5 years ago.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So did you go to? I didn't hear college in there.
Well, I spent 3 semesters at Coastal, but
awesome.
Business management.
No, I mean
mm-hmm.
seriously, I've had people on the podcast that have dropped out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had people that have advanced degrees,
mm-hmm.
right?
Multiples.
Mm-hmm.
I've had some of the very smartest people in Mobile sit in that chair,
mm-hmm.
and I've had people that really probably shouldn't have any business in business,
right.
but wildly successful.
Right.
And so that's all. I'm just trying to, I haven't said that in a while, so I feel like it's kind of important
mm-hmm.
to make that point. So.
And I feel like it kind of goes along with what you were saying a second ago about, there's no clear, beaten path for...
Mm-hmm.
Making a business successful and starting on your own. There's really no recipe that says you have to do this way, or you have to do this way. As long as you're kind of applying yourself and you don't quit, I feel like that is super important.
Yeah, I mean, I view business as kind of like a way of improving oneself.
Absolutely.
Right? Because there are so many different aspects to business that you have to either learn or you have to be disciplined on, you have to execute, all kinds of things. And it's not something that is a short duration.
Right.
It is a very long duration. And so to have the amount of grit that it takes in order to maintain that
Right.
it's a muscle. And so, we're getting wildly off topic, but one of our greatest exercises, because Chrissy, we were talking before,
Yeah.
Chrissy's my wife, and we sit around in the evenings and literally try to brainstorm on ways that either small things that we have, whether it's, a remote control or, whatever, small things that we have, how they might be able to be changed in just the slightest way
Right.
in order to impact, change and maybe have a business.
Right.
And so, I've also think that there's a way of doing that. And I really, man, I'm so upset. Ron, if you're out there and you're listening to this, please get with me. I would love to record the podcast again. I did a podcast with a gentleman by the name of Ron Holt, whom I had never met before.
Yeah.
And I had some technical difficulties. The batteries actually died on the mics. And so, but he is the owner of Pink Zebra Moving Company, if I remember correctly. I'm doing this from memory, so forgive me. But the thing that was so different about that was just that he had looked at the business in a different way. And some of the things, and I'm not going to get into it because it's not his podcast, and he's got to come on and tell the story.
Right.
But the way that, so even there, looking at a business that is very old and coming at it with a new perspective, right? And so that's it. It's a muscle. It's just a matter of like getting into that habit and being disciplined and thinking about it often enough to where you start to see the things that you might be able to do,
Sure.
To make a difference. So, but anyway, so now we get into the actual specific of what was your first job, and are there any lessons that you still remember from that? And I want you to go like really your first job. Like my first job really was working in a bagel bakery, and working with customers and stuff like that was difficult, but also learning that there were things that could be done the right way that I never thought had a right way to be done, like mopping a floor. Right. So, but what was your first job, and what were the lessons that you still remember from it?
My first job, I worked at a place, was McConaughey's Soda Shop, or Mr. Mack's Soda Shop, I'm sorry. It was in Satsuma. It's not there anymore, but McConaughey's pharmacy is still there. But I was, me and a good friend of mine, he got me the job right out of high school, just making ice creams, banana splits. And that's not a big deal, but the takeaway.
That's a good skill, though.
Yeah.
I didn't know
I
that.
love sweets, so it
I'm right there with you.
But just the details of doing something, how you do something, the presentation, and how you treat people. Because you see the same people all the time. You want them to be happy when they come in, and just doing people right and giving them what they ask for.
No, it's it is, because I think those of us that have been doing this for any length of time, especially, even something like this, like, getting, and there's nobody else here,
Right.
Yeah.
but like people sit in that chair and they're like,
Right.
and it's like, listen, it's just a camera, there's no other difference here. It's, once you get accustomed to dealing with people, the more, experience you have with that, the easier it becomes.
Right.
That's lacking today.
Yeah, I think so.
agree.
But anyway,
And it's so crazy because we live in an age where like everybody has a camera and like everybody has like access to do this stuff, but I think everybody's just kind of.
well, more so the entry, the jobs where the students are, like high school students ish, going into a workforce where they have to deal with people and they have to, greet them and show respect and give them change and do all these things. And it's just it's a skill set that's starting to disappear in a lot of ways. But
definitely.
But how about you? Your first job? And
So I've actually been waiting like 10 years for somebody to ask me this. My first job was at Fusackley.
okay,
I worked there for 4 years. So Mobile, tried and true. The very first time I ever went to Fusackley's, I told my mom, I was like, I'm going to apply here. Like, I'm going to get this job. I want to work here, just because I felt like they had that kind of culture. Like, I just think it's very important, like when you're starting a business, to kind of, I don't know, like I've always been interested in business and like how they run and how they operate. And I just was really taken by, the Fusiottis and Fusackley's and what they kind of did with that brand. But that is where I spent 4 years, from the time I was 16 to the time I was 20. working at Foosackly's, and I think that is where I learned pretty much everything about like leadership and
Wow.
like leading by example. I had some really great managers. I'm not saying that like, because like I was a terrible employee. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was 16. I was 16.
20,
like I was terrible. But like I would try to get out of doing things. I'd be like, oh, I don't want to do that. I'll get somebody else to do it. But like
that's just showing leadership skills.
Right. Yeah. Like if I can convince somebody else to do it, I'm gonna do that.
Delegation.
Yeah,
Delegation. There you go. But I learned a lot there. Not just about like leadership and working as a team, but like also how I wanted to be as a business owner. Like it changed kind of how I viewed the public, because even though I obviously have no ownership, I have no stake in Foosackly's, I thought in my head, like if I leave a bad impression on this person, like they'll never come back here.
Yeah.
And like it's super important for me to be like, I want them to be the reason that they're coming back to Foosackly's. Like I feel like developing those relationships with people, especially early on whenever you're first getting a job, like that is super important.
Yeah.
So I loved my time at Foosackly's. I couldn't speak highly of it.
It's amazing, and I've got a few people that know them and have asked for me to see if they want to be on the podcast, and I'm not been able to convince, because I really think that there's something there. I think it's as far as local brands go, I mean, I don't know of anybody else that's got cars that'll wait for however long. In order to get
30 plus minutes,
to
get a bigger box.
There's another place that we won't name because they're not local, but they do a reasonable job. I don't eat their chicken because it doesn't sit well with my system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But anyway, they are known for having lines around,
right.
But I mean, like right next door.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The local guy's killing it too.
Oh yeah.
It's like, man, we love our fried chicken down here, don't we?
Absolutely.
All right, so why don't you tell us about OpenTruck? And I mean, I know you guys are kind of just getting started.
Yeah.
So tell us, a little bit about it and tell us how it's been going.
So this idea kind of came about, it's been roughly 4 months now since the conception of the original idea. Essentially, we know that Mobile and other areas, not this isn't special just to Mobile, but Mobile is very special to us, so we wanted to start here. But they have a growing food truck community. We're seeing different coffee shops pop up, drink shops, barbecue, sushi, all kinds of things popping up, because I think it's a really good way to start off. Like if you're a restaurant owner and you're looking to start a brick and mortar, sometimes a food truck is the way to go to kind of build up to that point. And so we're starting to see a lot more of these pop up on the Gulf Coast. And I was sitting one day and I was thinking, how cool would it be if there was just one app? Like I know you can go on Facebook and you can look at different
individual
pages.
Yeah.
But that requires, searching up the page, going down, making sure that the post isn't old, looking at comments, seeing, if they've sold out or whatever. But if there was an app that held all of this information about where they are, how long they're going to be there, what is on the menu today, any kind of specials, things like that. If there was one app that could house all of this information, I think it could benefit not only customers from being able to, just directly see where they are, but also food truck owners, because they don't have to constantly post on Facebook and hope that their people are seeing it.
Yeah.
So I kind of got to work on doing that, on building a prototype, like a working prototype. It was just a web app. So it was powered by like Google Chrome, and you could, save it to your phone on your device. Well, then I was like, I never want to do anything alone. I want to do this with, my best friend. He's also a great entrepreneur. So I was like, I'm going to need help getting the word out about this, but I need somebody who like is as passionate about this idea as I am. And as soon as I told Camp was like, I'm on board. Like whatever it is, I'm on board.
That's cool.
So we've been working really hard. Camp has been helping me with, like, whenever I got the initial prototype up and going, Camp was kind of the one that was in there like, oh, this is working flawlessly. This is not working. We might need to tweak this. So he was kind of my QA person, my quality assurance person. And now he's helping onboard all of the food truck owners and helping get customers on there. And right now we're up to almost 800 customers on the app.
In about a week.
So I was going to say, when did you actually launch to the public?
So it went live on the App Store January 27th.
Okay.
And right now it's only available on iOS.
Pause, because we're recording on the 11th. So I mean, not that long.
Yeah,
so,
not long. It's only been a couple of weeks, and we have about 800 users in the mobile area.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so we know that there's a need for it. Like, we know that people, they want this service. It's just a matter of working out all the little kinks in it.
What I immediately thought when I saw it on Facebook, because I think we're connected on Facebook. Yeah. I was just like, how has nobody thought of this idea before?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about in the evenings, like sitting around and just like looking at things that are different. How did nobody see this idea before?
Yeah, and I genuinely don't know. I will say, and I need to give credit where credit is due, the conversation actually started off with my wife's aunt. She was the one that, she was sitting around and she was like, she said, there's this food truck that y'all have got to try, and she was telling us all about it, and she's like,
which one was it?
I can't remember. I can't remember which one it was now.
Give them a shameless plug.
But she was bound and determined to figure out where they were. Yeah. And later on that night, I was like sitting there and I said, like, why couldn't she find that food truck? Like, that should have been a lot easier for her to do. And like, even like going on Facebook, but like, she couldn't remember the name of it. Yeah. Like being on Facebook. So if there was just a dedicated
the other thing too is exposure. If
Yeah.
you're a new food truck, how do you get that first, claw into the, to learn, to gain some clients, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So no, it's just amazing. I think, I think it's a great idea. Like I said, I can't believe that it hasn't been done before, and I hope that you guys absolutely kill it. Because sir, you just launched in the Mobile area now?
We are.
Okay, so
we actually just recently hired a developer, like a full stack developer, because, like I said, my background is not really in like app development. It's more in like just general web development and graphic design, things like that, marketing. But we wanted to make sure that we're doing this the right way. And so the most important thing to us is making sure that, one, data is protected. Like, people get sued all the time for data breaches or whatever. So that's our top priority, is making sure that all of that is protected.
Yeah.
So we hired a new developer. His name is Wasif. He just joined us yesterday. He's our new chief technical officer. But he's getting to work on building an Android app, and we're hoping to have that launched by April 1st.
Nice. So it's iOS only now?
Yeah, right now it's iOS only.
Nice. I'll have to download it after the show.
Yeah, definitely.
Give it a twirl. I spent 10 years as a quality assurance tester.
Oh, that's awesome. Very nice. So you can give us some feedback.
Yeah. So now I'll definitely take a look, because I think it's just a cool idea to be able to pull open an app and say, hey, I want something different today, or I want to support local business today, or or there's a specific truck that everybody's been talking about and I want to see. But right now, you're right. I mean, unless you comb through Facebook, it just doesn't seem like there's an easy way to do that. So I mean, you guys are kind of early into this, but if you're talking to someone that wanted to get started on running their own business, what's the one bit of wisdom that you would give them?
Wisdom? I wouldn't call this wisdom, but just do it.
Yeah. Just
get into it. Get a good idea of what you want. Have an idea of the field that you're trying to go into. Preferably have some connections, but just make the leap. Learn what you need to learn, how to form an LLC or the entity in general. What other people are doing, what works, because you can always copy and paste people from other areas, and just jump into it.
Yeah, it's I was talking to a friend recently who started a business, and I was like, listen, man, you're not gonna know more than the other folks that are successful in other markets.
Right.
By all means, go and copy, what they're doing. Like, you don't copy, but
exactly.
Take some inspiration.
Yeah, literal inspiration. Because I think there's something important there, that until you get started and have that knowledge, then tweaking it can kind of make it, more powerful. But what about you?
I think, and again, I'm going to be like Camp. I'm not going to call this necessarily wisdom, but don't be afraid to fail. Nobody's gonna. people may look at you as a failure, and it doesn't matter. It's
redefine failure. No, I'm saying redefine failure. Failure is not doing it.
Right.
Yeah,
Failure. I would say
if you do something and you don't get to where you wanted to go with it,
right.
That's not necessarily failure.
Right. The only time it's failure is when you yourself give up and you're like, okay, like that's.
And even then, sometimes it just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This whole idea of failure, it's like life is just an experience that we're moving from one experience to the next, and like, okay, one didn't work out. So you're going to blow up your whole being and everything that you are because that one little thing didn't work out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I've just had, maybe that's, my age showing, but I'm just kind of like,
I kind of define myself by my failures because there are a lot of things that I have done and that I will do in the future that some people, I can't live my life on like a pass or fail kind of thing. But I do know when to accept when I have done something that I have failed at.
Yeah. I'm not saying that you're an arrogant prick.
Right.
Everybody makes mistakes. What I'm saying is that the true way to live life, per Marcus Netto, is you're trying to have as many wonderful experiences as you can and learn and become a better person.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that is to make mistakes. The only way to do that is to, it's like Elon, SpaceX. I was talking to Chrissy last night and I was like, did you know that they postponed Artemis 2 for a month because they found, I think it was a hydrogen leak. And so we were talking about this because, it was something that we had been keeping our eyes on. And I was like, in the meantime, SpaceX is going to launch 30 rockets and probably blow up a couple in the meantime.
Yeah.
Now I get it that there's people on this rocket and so they're being extra careful, but I don't remember them ever firing off, and I could be wrong, I don't remember them ever firing off this type of rocket before. And so the question was, like SpaceX is stress testing these things and they're breaking them, they're pushing them to the limits.
Right.
That is life. If you're not pushing it to the limits and finding where those breaking points are, then you don't know where your failures are as a human being. You don't know where you need to learn. And you really don't. I mean, there's just so much that comes out of that. So, but anyway.
That's a good point.
Well, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I feel for people that can't get started, and so kudos for you guys for seeing an idea and running with it. How about books, podcasts, or people or organizations? Anybody specific that has kind of really inspired you, maybe in the last year, or given you some information that you didn't have before that was really helpful?
I can't pinpoint one piece of information, but my favorite podcast is a business podcast called My First Million. And I don't know if you've heard of it. They Sam Paul and Sean Curry, they are both successful entrepreneurs, and they talk about, to go back to what you were saying, try and fail again. And it took them 12 years before they had a little bit of success.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them started selling hot dogs. That was his thing, speaking of food trucks. But but just to the people that they have on and the different experiences that you see, and then they do give good bits of information too, without going they can't go too deep into detail. But I really enjoy that podcast.
Yeah, they do give quite a bit of information there, and I agree. It's kind of a well, it's just to get off your ass and do it kind of attitude surrounding it. They are part of the HubSpot organization, but. Yeah. What was their product was something different, wasn't it?
Sam's was.
It was like
the Hustle. He had
a Hustle. It was the newsletter because I subscribed to that, and it was it was great. I remember that.
And then Sean, his company, he started a streaming company, or co-founded a streaming company that actually sold to Twitch.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's doing well.
Nice. Yeah. Not hurting.
Not at all.
So I got a couple of rapid fire questions. I've not done this with two people, so I don't know how we do this. But 12 questions, just give me your answer. So favorite type of music?
I'm a rock guy.
Mine's more like alternative.
Define alternative.
John Mayer.
Okay.
One of my favorites.
See, I was thinking like The Cure, Depeche Mode.
No, well, I'm not opposed to that. Really, I like all music, but I think alternative is
like
kind of soft rock.
Okay,
alternative.
yeah. What's your favorite type of food? I'm gonna get you guys in trouble right now.
Fried.
Oh, come on.
Cuisine in general.
Yeah.
Any kind that comes off of a truck.
Italian.
Yeah,
Anything.
there you
Yeah,
go,
give me
yeah.
a break.
Italian, big lasagna guy.
Favorite restaurant in Lower Alabama?
I'm a Via Amelia.
I swear I was gonna say
I
Via
was gonna be
Amelia.
into it.
Really?
Yeah,
Via
it's
Amelia.
wonderful.
Why? Where am I not? I'm pause. Sorry, it's my rapid fire. I get pause if I want. Where is that?
It's on Old Chill.
Yeah, it's on Old Chill, right
Culture
across from
Center.
the Mitchell Center.
Yeah.
It's a little red building. It's been there for
Okay,
since like
I do
99.
know of that, but I've been meaning to try it, and I've not been
Got
in there.
Got to.
Got
It
to.
is-
Is that good?
Oh,
Okay,
my God.
well,
Very,
you
very
heard it here, folks. It'll be packed next time I try to go.
There you go.
Favorite city outside of Mobile?
Colorado Springs or that area, that whole area.
Cool.
DC.
DC. We
Yeah.
got to talk about that.
Oh yeah.
Jesus. City you want to travel to but have yet to visit?
I got a list a mile long, but I'll say just Jackson Hole to keep it simple.
Okay.
Miami.
Yeah.
Whew.
I always wanted to go to Miami.
God, you can lose your
And
soul.
also, I'll put it up there with New York City too. I've never been. I'd
Yeah.
like to go check it out.
I've been to New York City, but it's been a long time, and I've always wanted to go like around Christmas. So I'm going to try and make that
Yeah, that'd be cool,
happen.
yeah.
That'd be
Go to
beautiful.
the Rockefeller Center.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's cheesy, but
Yeah.
what comes to mind when I say guilty pleasure?
Man I Need by Olivia Dean.
What?
That song has been stuck in my head, and it's a guilty pleasure. That song.
That was
if you
not
have not been
the
on,
angle I was going for.
if
Oh
you
my
have not
God.
been on TikTok and listened to this
How
song,
about
like
an activity, man?
I mean,
Oh
come
my
on,
God,
that's
no,
my
I was
guilty
thinking more
pleasure.
like food, but
Yeah,
that's my
okay.
guilty
I'm gonna
pleasure.
say video games. I always feel bad when I play, but I
Yeah.
get lost in them when I sit down.
Don't feel bad. They're great for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're. I mean, doctors and fighter pilots are
Right.
supposed to do it. So I mean, why shouldn't regular people too?
There you
You
go.
want to try again?
Yeah, I'll try again. A guilty pleasure, I would think, is something that you take pleasure in, that you don't necessarily, want to take pleasure in, like maybe a specific song. Like you're listening to a song in the car.
Just giving you a hard time, man. All right. So what? Sorry, dogs, cats, or none of the above. Man.
Touchy subject, but cats.
Dogs.
Okay. I like both. I got a cat now, and it's almost a dog. So
There you go. That's the best kind of cat.
yeah. Summer or winter?
Winter.
Winter.
Jeez, you guys are so wrong. Favorite movie or TV show?
Schitt's Creek.
Okay.
Ozark, as far as like something serious, but
Yeah.
actually, thanks to Cole, started recently watching Seinfeld. And
Oh, yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so simple, but
funny, it's funny to go back and watch some of the old shows because it is kind of, like some of the stuff, you're like, oh yeah, this.
Yeah.
right.
But there were just some really creative ideas, and there's a reason why some of those shows were around for so long. Favorite holiday outside of Christmas?
Halloween,
I would say Halloween.
Yeah. Favorite color?
purple.
Purple. All right.
Mine's orange right now. Mine changes though. Mine changes like
All right. I'm
you ask me
seeing it.
next week, it could be blue.
Together you make Halloween.
There you go.
Favorite cereal?
Honey bunches of oats with almonds in the bag, the cheap big bag
Yeah.
cereal.
Got to be the great value.
The value.
Yeah,
Yeah. Great value.
More bang for your
awesome.
buck.
All right. Not rapid fire. What are you most thankful for?
My family and my friends.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say my friends. I don't have a tight family in Mobile.
Yeah.
My family, my friends hold me together.
Yeah.
I've got like my friend group is, to give a long answer to a short question.
No.
But
This isn't a rapid fire, so feel free.
yeah. So my friend group, I really don't have a friend group. I guess I do, but like I have individuals that make up a friend group, and they really like Cole doesn't know any of my other friends, and none of my other friends really know Cole.
Yeah.
But they all give me something I need.
Yeah.
Business with Cole, and we can talk about things that I can't talk about with anything else.
Yeah.
And then I have a friend that I can talk about with, like, we work out together. We can talk about that. I have
Yeah.
one of my best friends. We've been through a lot together, so we
Yeah.
can have really deep conversations. And I think you just need all those pieces. I'm really
Absolutely.
thankful for my friends.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of unrealistic when we expect one person to fulfill all the needs that we have as a human.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
it is nice when you can kind of get some of those people together though, and have if they have some commonalities. So,
Definitely.
but how about you? You said family and friends.
Yeah, family and friends. I don't have like a huge family, but I have a pretty tight little group. That's my family, but I kind of blur the line between family and friends. My friends really have become my family. So that's kind of what gets me through.
It's it's interesting. It's difficult because after you get out of school, it's like how I mean, most of us would make our friend groups something out of our work, like in a corporate world or trades or whatever, and if you're an entrepreneur, then it's even more lonely because people aren't going through the same experiences that you are often, but also how do you find somebody else that you can provide benefit to and feedback that values that, but also that they can give you and pour into you and give you feedback. It's not an easy thing. And even to make it matters worse, guys are dumb and can't relate to each other most of the time. It's like football.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I'm so thankful I'm not the friend that can talk about the gym when football. I'm like, we can talk about anything on a computer.
That's his football itch.
That's it. Like,
so yeah. All right. So you mentioned DC, and I just wanted to touch on that. What was your experience in DC?
So I've actually been twice. I went once. The first time I was in high school, I went with this program. I don't even remember the name of the program, but Close Up. It was the Close Up program.
I haven't heard of that. Yeah.
We went there. They do it annually. They like pick students from different schools, and you like raise up money, and you get to go like meet the senators and tour the whole Capitol. Like it was really a surreal experience the first time I went. Second time I went was whenever I was grown. I actually went like last year, and I think I had even more fun because my wife had a dental conference that she was going to up there, so I just kind of got to hang out and
see all the stuff,
go sightseeing. But I think that's one of my favorite places. It reminds you, because I come from Mobile, obviously, like we're a growing city, but we're not like huge, like we're no DC. I think going places like that, like it reminds you, like not of your insignificance, but it's like it just makes you see like there's this much bigger machine that's working. Like people will pass you on the street, like, and you can hear them like in the South. I know we're loud and we're rambunctious, but we're also like super close with each other. Like we'll be polite and speak. In bigger cities, it's like, it's not that the people are rude, it's that there's so many people that you can't possibly speak to everybody. And so I think it just reminds you, or at least reminds me anyway, that like everybody's got their own kind of thing. They have their own life going on, they have their own problems, and it just makes it kind of centers me. I think when I go to a big city like that, it kind of reminds me to look at my life and appreciate it a little bit more.
Did you do anything that you...
So we went to this, I don't know if this is a good one to tell, but we went to this
It
place.
is now, we got a recording of it, so...
We went to this place, I call it the Unts Club.
Okay.
Because it was like, we were trying to find something to do like after the Super Bowl. Yeah. And it was 3 stories. It was like a dance club, and the first floor was like, real slow, and then the higher you went up, it was like
the beat per minute went up. Upstairs is all people just like with,
and like the lights are everywhere, and that's like not my thing. Like I normally don't do that kind of stuff, but like when in Rome,
absolutely. Yeah.
So, but we had a really great time doing that.
See, I'm actually the opposite direction. I'm from there, and that's my
okay.
stuff. But when I come down here, it's like, all right, let's.
Everything's slow.
So
very nice.
But no, that's cool. I haven't been back in so long. I do want to get back, but I think. DC is a really great place to visit.
Yeah.
It is one of the places that you can go to where there is so much to do, and most of it is free.
Yeah.
But it's also, I was thinking about this morning, actually. I was listening to something, and I was just reminded at how DC is the most self-important city in the world.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody walks around with that thought in their head.
Yes.
And I don't know. I just didn't think that much of myself. I didn't want to walk around feeling like that.
Yeah.
So
I will say that everybody that I met in DC, for the most part,
they're
was
wonderful people. Yeah.
Just fantastic.
It's just the vibe of the city.
It moves so quick.
Well, it moves quick, and people know that there's power there. You know, I mean, like, it's not just, the power that you would expect with the presidency and Congress and all that stuff. But I mean, even at the lower levels, like each of the independent, departments and stuff like that. I mean, I worked in the Department of Defense and Department of State as a contractor, and so it was just, but this was a long time ago. Maybe things have changed. Maybe it's all beautiful and works like a flawless machine now.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah. All right. So tell people where they can find you.
Facebook mainly. If you want to follow us, go to Facebook.
Okay.
We actually haven't really started building the Instagram, TikTok, X, Twitter, whatever it is.
So website?
Yes, we have a website right now. It's really just more of a landing page.
What's the domain?
To download the app, it's getopenTruck.com.
Okay. And it's in the iOS store?
Yes, and it is in the App Store. You can look it up. It's just OpenTruck. Yes, and it's a big orange icon with a food truck.
Hence the proclivity for orange.
There we go.
So, all right. Well, I want to thank you again for coming on the podcast. To wrap up, any final thoughts or comments you'd like to share?
We have been super excited and nervous to be here, and this could not have gone any better. So we appreciate you having us.
You're a great host. This is I was sweating.
I appreciate it, and I just enjoy talking to people. So I think everybody kind of has this idea in their mind of what it's like when you come here, and it's just like, nah, man, just sit down and have a conversation. Just ignore that thing, So anyway, guys, I appreciate your willingness to sit with me and share your journey as business owners and entrepreneurs. It's been great talking.
Absolutely, thank you.
Yep.